There have always been a bunch of minions that make an insane amount of money, but most immune to AFK kills such as the Slime, Inferno, or Tarantula minion. But not this minion. This minion makes more than Slime, and you don't need an AFK killing setup at all. Okay, so what mysterious minion makes more than Slime and doesn't require AFK killing? Well, the Mycelium, aka Fungus Dirt minion. But not in the way that you're thinking of, as you need to use a very specific setup if you want to make this much money. First, what is a Mycelium minion? It is a mazed faction version of a minion, and it produces Mycelium, which is now classified as a mining block, but it was kind of iffy because Hypixel did an oopsie. And each minion tier requires a higher level of mage rep and more Mycelium in order to craft, and you need this mage rep to place. And usually these make a good amount of money. I'm talking like 5 to 10 million coins with a tier 11 setup. If you use this special setup, you can make around 40 to 60 million coins every single day. So why is it so good? Well, there's a bunch of misconceptions that make it super underrated. Number 1, the cost. If you look in the wiki for Mycelium minions, it says a tier 12 costs you 76 mil, which is a lot. Like, dude, I could buy a full set of Necron, and instead I'm blowing it on a weird dirt minion. Like, at that point, I might as well hit the subscribe button on this YouTube video, you know? But the reality of the Mycelium minion is it only costs 15 million coins for a tier 12. But ProWolf, how is that possible? It clearly says 76 mil for a tier 12. Well, this is because the wiki uses the cost of base Mycelium, and for whatever reason, the price of enchanted Mycelium cubes is way cheaper than what it should be. It costs you 1 mil in enchanted Mycelium to craft an enchanted Mycelium cube, but it only sells for 190k. But that's not why this is so good. Mycelium is a natural block in vanilla Minecraft, and it's just like dirt with fungus on it. And just like vanilla, this fungus spreads to blocks around the minions. Think of the blocks as people and the fungus or Mycelium as coronavirus. It spreads rampant. And if you have the optimal setup, the Mycelium will spread so fast that the minion will never need to generate more Mycelium. It basically works the same way as cobblestone minions do with a cobble gen, where it just has to do one action and as such cuts the time in half. Issue is the Mycelium will not spread if you're not on your island. But there's a few other things we can do as well. 1, the Mushroom Cow. This is crafted in the Mycelium collection, shocker, and one of its abilities is it boosts the production or the speed of Mycelium minions by 30%. Pair this with the Mythril Crystal and you're looking at 40% boost, which is pretty crazy. So how much does this actually make, and what setup do you need to make this much money? So what's the best setup? Now, it's this, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but first let me explain why. Now, Mycelium is a normal vanilla block, and it's a fungus that spreads. And how it spreads is very unique. It can spread to any one block around, so any of these blocks can infect this dirt. However, it can also spread 2, if not 3 blocks down, meaning the Mycelium up here is helping regenerate the Mycelium here, the Mycelium here is helping regenerate the Mycelium here, and so on, so on, so on. Now, why the torches? This is because the way the Mycelium grows is very unique. The top layer must have a light level of minimum 9, and the receiving layer, the dirt block, must have a minimum Y level of 4. But because this is also going down to the next one, you really just want to have every single level of Mycelium with a light level of 9. As you can see, if we run around, we have light levels of 9 everywhere. Drop down on the bottom floor, light levels of 9 everywhere. The easiest way to achieve this is what I've done right here, where you have minion chests and you just place some sort of block above it and surround that block with torches. This doesn't really do anything because you can still open the chests. It just provides enough light that you can access everything. Now, what about the other things that make this so unique? First, Mythril Crystal. This gives 10% bonus to all mining minions, which these are. And we have ourselves the Mushroom Cow. Red Cow Mans has a few unique abilities. It's kind of similar to Elephant Pet, but it makes Mushroom and Mycelium minions work 30% faster when you're on your island. Again, a pretty good buff, right? Meaning from all this, we're gaining around 2.4 times the speed. Now, what about the actual minions themselves? Well, I'm using a tier 11 minion with Mythril Infusion, Hyper Catalysts, Super Compactors, and Minion Expanders. I find that this is actually the optimal setup. And yes, I'm saying I recommend doing this above a maxed out tier 12 Flycatcher setup. Now, why? Well, it's mainly because of the reason we went over earlier with enchanted mycelium cubes, and how they're worth a fraction of the cost. If you have a maxed out minion, for example, like the one over here, it will produce, if this was had hyper catalysts with flycatcher and everything, it would produce an enchanted mycelium cube every 7.5 hours. Meaning you need to get on every 7 hours if you wish to not lose 80% of your money. Now, when we have a setup like this, that time limit is more like 13 to 15 hours, meaning if you collect it when you wake up and before you go to bed, you're 100% fine. So how much does each of these cost? Well, the Mithril Infusion cost me around 3 million coins, my Cinnamon Minion cost me around 13 million coins, 16 to 18 million coins in total for all of them. From super compactors, everything costs you around 480 million coins in total for this entire setup, and the mycelium, or the mushroom cow, if we go and look at low spin, technically you only need epic, but there's no epic ones on AH, so 27, costs you 27 mil for the pet. Now this is an expensive setup, it costs you 500 million coins to get. So how much does this make? I've letting these guys run for about 12 hours now, and every single minion after running for about 12 hours, if I put on sell order, has around 1 million coins in gear from 12 hours, or 2 million coins every single day. This is with a tier 4 beacon. But this isn't including the cost of hyper catalysts. With hyper catalysts, I find that these minions make around 1.4 to 1.7 million coins a day, every single minion. So if you have 30 minions, it's 40 to 60 million coins. What if you don't have 500 million coins to invest? Well, you use this exact same setup, except for instead of a tier 11 with Mithril Infusion, you use a tier 7. This will cut the cost down per minion from around 18, including Mithril Infusion, to around 2 million coins, meaning this whole setup would cost you 50, 60 odd mil, and you'd still be making around 18 to 20 million coins an hour, which is really, really good. Just remember, you must be AFK on your island in order for this to work, and you must collect it every 12-ish hours, because once it gets close, you might lose a lot of money. Either way, if you guys enjoyed today's video, subscribe, like, and thank you so much for 19,000 subscribers. Appreciate you. Use this mycelium pyramid. It's actually pretty goated, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's like the goat throat. But I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.